Welcome, everyone, to Sportsman's Park here in Hobbs, New Mexico. Ty Friend here with you, Hobbs Eagle Baseball, live on the internet, HobbsAmerica.com, the YouTube Hobbs Sports page, and the Cool 95.7 Facebook page. A Hobbs Eagles last game of the regular season, taking on the Carlsbad Cavemen. Very much of an overcast day here. Temperatures in the low 70s. They did move this game up from Friday, and it will be tonight. This will be the second game of the series. Of course, last night, Carlsbad winning at home 10-0 in a mercy rule shutout game after the end of 5. So this is one that the Eagles definitely like to win to try to keep themselves in contention for a playoff spot. I think even with a loss possibly, they're going to get in probably, I would think, between the 14th through 16th seed. But if the win here tonight would definitely be a nice feather in the cap because that would be another win against a district champion. Carlsbad did get the championship last night, the 5th in a row with that victory. And they've also defeated Cleveland once, too. They're going to probably be their district champ. They have one more game this week as well. So that's a couple bonus points Eagles will pick up on. They have the second best strength of schedule in the state of New Mexico. And guess who's number one? Carlsbad. They're currently with 17 in the strength of schedule. That's a point differential there. And then also the Hobbs Eagles at 15.4, again at number 2 in the 5A. That's not going to hurt their chances either. So those things, I don't know exactly how it fits into the formula for the New Mexico Activities Association to decide what teams make it in. But winning those 2 district champ games at Cleveland and hopefully tonight against Carlsbad, definitely going to help out the cause. Eagles, of course, with that loss last night, went to under 500, 12-13 on the season. Carlsbad improved to 15-10, so 5 games above 500. They're well behind the top 5 in terms of records. Cleveland at 22-3 at number 1. Piedra Vista 21-4 at 2. Number 3 is Rio Rancho. Actually, they moved a little bit here. Rio Rancho moved up last night to number 2. They're 21-4. Piedra Vista dropped as they lost a game last night to number 3. Same record as Rio Rancho at 21-4. So Cleveland, Rio Rancho, Piedra Vista. 4th is the Cueva, no change there, 21-3. Number 5, Centennial. Eagles played them earlier this season. 22-2 record for them. Carlsbad 6, 15-10. El Dorado 7 at 19-4. Mayfield number 8 at 17-6-1. And there's been a change at 9-10. Los Lunas moved up a spot last night. They're 9th, 15-9 record. And then Oregon Mountain comes in at number 10. So they dropped one in the ranks there. Hobbs Eagles, of course, number 11 with the 12-13 record at 15.4 strength of schedule. Again, second best in the 5A. There's been some movement underneath Hobbs, though. Number 12 now is Clovis. They actually moved up 2 spots to that number 12 spot. So they definitely are doing themselves a favor with the win over Roswell. They're 13-12 in the season, one above 500. Clovis has a pretty decent strength of schedule, too, at 13.1. So they'll be kind of chewing at the heels of the Eagles. So Hobbs, this is a big game for them in this ball game tonight. Las Cruces dropped from 12-13. They lost last night to Centennial, so they are now 14-10 on the season, still 4 above 500. And then looking at the 14th spot, Volcano Vista dropped down one. They lost last night to Cleveland 10-0, so they're 12-13 on the season and currently ranked at 14th. Rio Grande at 15-8, and that's still a decent record there, way above 500. And Cibola, 11-14, coming at number 16. That's a team that knocked off Carlsbad last year, an upset. They were the 14th seed, went to Carlsbad, won 2 out of 3 games, and defeated the Carlsbad Cavemen, who were seeded 3rd last season. So not a good taste of the mouth of the Cavemen after last season's finish there. Why do I go down to 16? That's how many teams will make the tournament. That will be announced this weekend. They still got some games scheduled for May 1st as well, some Albuquerque schools. Not sure if the weather is going to affect them. We're going to get a lot of heavy rain on Friday, it appears. High of 51 and 93% chance of precip, and that's why we're playing tonight for this final regular season game. We'll take a quick break. National Anthem starting here at Sportsman's Park. Your Hobbs Eagles taking on the Carlsbad Cavemen next. Welcome back to Sportsman's Park. Your Hobbs Eagles hosting Carlsbad. Final regular season game for both teams. Should be an exciting contest. Hobbs losing last night 10-0, but they want to get the win here to get in one more bonus here for the potential to get into the playoffs. Playoffs start next week, Friday and Saturday, best of 3. At this point, it looks like Eagles would be on the road regardless of this game here tonight. Hobbs batting .314 on the season. Did have a lot of good stick action last night as they only got 2 hits total in that ball game. Hobbs 2 of 16 at the plate for .125 in the batting average. 2 hits, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. Luke Parrish getting a single for the Eagles, and the big one from Jaden Hernandez, a double, but not much help other than that. On the other side of the coin for the Carlsbad Cavemen, they were 6 of 21 at the plate, batting .286. They only got 6 hits, so they weren't completely dominating. Got 4 walks and 8 strikeouts, so they got struck out by the Eagles pitching at several locations there. Alan Udahara, Luke Parrish, and Carson Phillips also in action on the mound for the Eagles in that one. Big difference, though, was besides the walks, was hit by pitch. In fact, Jaden Carter was hit twice. Easy Lopez got hit as well. And so those guys getting a lot more base runners in the game for Carlsbad. Easy Lopez also 2 for 2 at the plate with a couple of doubles and a run scored. He was the only multiple hitter for Carlsbad. Eloy Lopez added a single. Connor Roberson had a single as well. But the big one was Brock Wright, 2 for 2 at the plate, a double, 3 RBI home run, and he scored 3 runs on top of that. He was also hit by a pitch. So they actually had 4 players actually getting hits in that game. 5 did not. So they batted .286 versus the Eagles 125. So that's what we have here for this ball game. Carlsbad will be up first at the plate. Eloy Lopez, 1 for 4 last night with a single. Takes a fastball outside. Chase Brister on the mound for the Eagles with the start for the last regular season game. Brister at 2 and 4 on the season. His 9th game on the mound and a 5.89 ERA. Curveball inside, will be snapped over to the third baseman for the Eagles. Fires the ball over the head of Kestner. He's got to chase it towards the Carlsbad side of the field on the right. After the throw coming from third base, Tristan Montez. Montez was inserted to third base last night. The Eagles had the injury that they had to switch up. Of course, last second call on that one, Jaden Taylor hurt his hand, and they had to pull him right before the first pitch. So a little bit of an error on the first play of the ball game for the Eagles. Gets a base runner. He actually got to second, so that's where he's going to be at second base for Lopez. Easy Lopez now, same last name, the lefty first baseman. Runner at second, underway here. Fastball down the middle is going to get through the second base out to center field. That's going to have to be scooped up for the Eagles, and the runner's going to come home. So an RBI single converted by Lopez. So already the first score of the ball game for the district champs, Carlsbad. John Curtis at center here tonight. Luke Parrish out at right field, and Sullivan at left. Round the bases. Taking a look right now at the first base, of course. Actually, it's Souter out there first today. They made a switch up on that position. Fastball, Brister low and outside for the ball. Runner stays at first. Udahara will be at second, and Montez at third. Shortstop, it is Fuentes. Back to live action here with the leadoff at first. Run has scored here in Sportsman's Park. Carlsbad up early, 1-0. Slated for 7. Fastball at the middle of the bat, out to right center. Is going to take a bounce. Chasing it down for the Hobbs Eagles out in right to make sure it didn't get more than a single was Luke Parrish. Parrish spending some time on the mound last night, had one of the 2 hits for the Eagles. So runners at first and third. Back-to-back singles for the Cavemen. No outs on the board yet. And now that's going to bring up Wade Cozart. So Lopez, and Carter, the 3. 2 of those guys getting singles, and Lopez scored after getting on due to an error on a throwing error from third. Another lefty stepping up, Wade Cozart. Cozart 0 for 2, did get on due to a walk, though. Mentioned earlier, Easy Lopez, who had this RBI single, had a couple of doubles last night and a walk, so he got on base quite a bit. Throw to first, not in time. Brister takes a peek back at first. Bat on the shoulder of Cozart now. Curveball inside, off the middle of the bat towards right field. Should have enough time to get underneath it. Luke Parrish comes and makes the snag and tosses a good one in towards first base. They throw it to home, and now home to second. Runner's going to get run down between first and second, trying to get the tag. A nice slap in the back there for the Eagles to get the out as being chased down by Yuta Hara, the second baseman for the Eagles. Slapped him right in the back. Runner did come across, though, and that was E.Z. Lopez. So runners nowhere now on the bases. 2-0 ball game in favor of Carlsbad here in the top of the first. Here's a wide-open throw from Brister. Fastball low and outside for ball one. Wade Cozart, the cleanup man in this game, the third baseman. Cozart 0 for 2, did walk once in that game yesterday. Actually, correction, that's not Cozart, that's Hernandez, the Riley Hernandez at DH. So he's fifth in the order. Hernandez did not play in the game yesterday. The fastball strike on Hernandez. He is the DH in this one. Once again, only 2 multiple hitters in for Carlsbad last night. E.Z. Lopez, the 2 doubles. Fastball, low for ball 2. Brock Wright again, the 3 RBI homer and the double as well. 2-0 here in the top of the first. Scoring runs for both of the Lopezes. Fastball outside, swing and a miss for Hernandez. That'll be strike 3. So the Carlsbad Cavemen managed 2 hits. They get 1 to come across. Nobody left on base. We head to the bottom of the first. Your Eagles trail 2-0 with the offensive bats coming up next. You're listening live to Hobbs Eagle Baseball on HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and the Cool 95.7 Facebook page. Welcome back to Sportsman's Park. Ty Friend here with you. Hobbs Eagle Baseball on the internet, HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, the Cool 95.7 Facebook page. Final game of the regular season. Carlsbad leading early 2-0. They capitalize on an error to get on first. An RBI single for E.Z. Lopez and Jaden Carter with a single. And an errant throw in the infield causing 2 runs to come through eventually. So 2-0 the score. Hobbs will start off with John Curtis, the center fielder. Curtis batting 8th yesterday. He was 0 for 2, ground out and struck out. Curtis batting .279 this season. 19 hits, 20 RBIs, 6 doubles, a triple, and 2 home runs. Eagles with 21 homers this season. The leader, once again, 5 for Jaden Hernandez. Of course, 4 for Cole Kessner, who's the DH in this one. It's Curtis, Fuentes, Hernandez, and Kessner in terms of the batting order for the Eagles. Here's the windup in the throw. Curveball inside, a nice whack out towards second. Will keep it on the ground, though. Should be an easy throw, and is. Converting Eloy Lopez over to E.Z. Lopez. Off the 4-3 for the first out on the ground out by Curtis. Ortiz, the man on the mound for Carlsbad. Of course, they're pitcher last night, only giving up 2 hits to the Eagles. That was Wade Cozart, who was third base in this one. Wide up in the throw, fastball. Clips the outside corner for the strike. It's Easy Lopez at first, Eloy Lopez second, Cozart third, Davis at short. And Roberson behind the plate. Fastball, same spot, a little bit outside this time for ball 1. Evens up the count at 1-1. Carter, Hernandez in right, left to right in the outfield. Fastball, nice extension on the bat. It takes a bounce on the long distance third base line, halfway outfield there, but third base umpire calls it out for the foul. Nice whack on the ball that time. It just barely moved off that left side of the line. Looks like it was on it for just a second there as it got past the third base and halfway down the line out into left field. Definitely going to keep Jaden Carter on notice there, the left fielder. Curveball outside. Oh, that's going to be strike 3. Looked like it might have stretched out a little bit, but just barely clipped the outside corner for the strike. So Fuentes unfortunately goes down, the shortstop. 2 down early for the Eagles. Jaden Hernandez now the catcher. Hernandez went 1 of 2, the double, one of the 2 hits for the Eagles last night. Hernandez comes in batting .385 with 26 hits, 31 RBIs, 7 doubles, and 5 homers. He is the home run leader. Ortiz says no to the first 2 pitch calls. Catcher sliding right a little bit. Check swing on the fastball outside. That's going to go foul towards the JV field on the right. Out of play. Jaden third in the order for the Eagles, trying to get a base runner for Hobbs. Trailing 2-0 here in the bottom of the first. Slated for 7 at Sportsman's Park. 2 hits already for the Cavemen. Hobbs trying to match it up here. Curveball, going to go high in the air, a fly ball. Around second, the shortstop's going to shift over right of the base and make the catch out in the green, just past the brown field turf and the infield. And the shortstop is Davis for out number 3 on the fly out from Hernandez. So 3 up, 3 down for the Eagles. We head to the bottom, make it the top of the second. Carlsbad holding on to a 2-0 lead. Final regular season game at Sportsman's Park. Hobbs and Carlsbad. Stay with us. You'll be glad you did. Top of the second here at Sportsman's Park. Carlsbad leads this one 2-0. Coming off an RBI single from E.Z. Lopez and a single for Jaden Carter. They did get 2 runs to come across. And they were 2 of 5 at the plate to start it off. 400 in the first inning. Eagles 0 for 3 with a ground out, a strikeout, and a foul, or a foul ball. Correction, fly ball. The right F word out of my mouth there. Yesterday, Carlsbad had their first 3 hits in the runs in the second, added 2 in the third for 5-0, added 3 in the fourth for 8-0, and then 2 in the fifth to put the game away in the mercy rule, 10-inning run rule. 10-0 the final on that one. Ran their record of 15-10. Eagles now 12-13. Could go 500 if they can get the victory here. Fastball down the middle for the strike to Brock Wright. 6th in the order for the Eagles. Wright with that home run and double last night. Scored 3 runs and had 3 RBIs. Curveball. He's going to yank this one down the third base line. It's going to roll towards the fence. Takes a bounce right in the deep left corner and have to be chucked in hard there by Sullivan. A double for Brock Wright, the right fielder for the Cavemen. That'll be the third hit of the ball game for the blue and white. So right now 3-0 hit count in favor of Carlsbad. Brings up seventh in the order. Connor Roberson, the catcher. Roberson went 1 for 3 last night with a single. Got an error to get on and then a strikeout. Hobbs did manage to get 8 Ks against Carlsbad in that game despite the loss. Chase Brister with the fastball. This is heading out to left center. It's going to take a bounce. The center fielder for the Eagles coming over, Curtis, and throws it back to short. Connects with Fuentes to keep the runner at first. So a single, back-to-back hits now for Carlsbad. They got 4 total now. 8th in the order, going to be Richie Hernandez, the center fielder. So 4 of the batters so far out of the 7 for Carlsbad have gotten hits. 1 got on due to an error as well. So all 5 of 7 on base at this point. 2 now in the second inning. 2-0 score, Carlsbad, runners at first and third. Brister taking some time now. Turns and fires the fastball low and outside, sliding with the knees there to keep it from going wild as Hernandez. Behind the plate for the Eagles. 9 seniors going to be graduating this year. They'll have a senior night after the game here at Sportsman's Park. Brister turns and fires to first. And not in time on the tag there. Runner getting back. Souter, the first baseman in this one. 1 ball, no strikes to Hernandez. He's 8th in the order. Mike Davis will round it out for the first time. Curveball inside, hit hard to third. Montez turns and fires to second, makes the contact, and to first, just barely not in time. So Montez hooking up with Udahara at second, and the throw to first just a little bit slow on that one, but they do get the out on the fielder's choice for Montez, and sits down Hernandez. So 1 down for the Cavemen. Bottom of the order, Mike Davis, the shortstop, up now. Davis had a sack RBI in that game yesterday. Was hit by a pitch, did score a run. Actually, he was only up to play twice. He had a sub come in in his third at bat who got the RBI sack. Fastball low and outside. Good save there for Hernandez for the Eagles. Keeping it in front of him to the right of the plate. Runner sticking at first and third now. Trying to tack on to a 2-0 lead. Final game of the regular season, meeting this weekend. They'll announce the 16 teams heading to state next week. It'll be a first round best 2 of 3. There comes a 1-0 from Brister, showing bunt now. Now going to throw it down to second. A bouncer. Should be enough for the tag. It is. The runner comes right into the ball and glove of Udahara. It's a 1 hopper to second to get the stolen base erased. That will take a seat for looks like Roberson will have to sit down here. So out number 2. Still 2-0 ball game. Carlsbad runners just at third now. 1 runner. Mike Davis continues to be at the plate. Takes a curve inside. Clips the corner for the strike. Count goes to 2-1. Took a little bit of time for Carlsbad to warm up in that game. They only got their first 3 runs in the second inning. Then continue to capitalize after that. Curveball down the middle for the strike. Now 2-2 count as Brister starting to get a little mojo out there on the mound. Again, clouds all over the place here. Kind of a gray look, but it's that 0% chance of rain tonight. Here's the 2-2. Fastball. Little check swing action going high up in the air in the infield. It's going to be Souter to chase it up the first base line, and he dropped it through the glove. Bounces off and rolls outside the first baseline. An error there for Souter, as 1 run will come across to make it 3-0 here in the top of the second. Runner also advances to second. One thing about this game, sun will not be a factor whatsoever. It's going to be cloud cover for the rest of the night. Temperatures drop about 10 degrees on Thursday and another 10 on Friday. Very rainy Friday afternoon. That's why this game was moved up. Fastball high from Brister. popping up is Hernandez, just checking that runner at second and held on to the ball behind the plate. So it should be some heavy rain Friday. Softball but got moved up today as well. The Hobbs Lady Eagles chance to wrap up district championship. A couple of games against Carlsbad on the road. Here comes the 1-0 from Brister. Curving inside off the handle, going to go high towards left. And looks like the shortstop for the Eagles going in foul territory. Curved wildly towards the Hobbs Eagle dugout on the left side. Boy, what wheels by Fuentes to get out there and make the catch. Running towards the Hobbs Eagle dugout, kind of a balloon route that time. It looked like the ball might even stay into left field, but for some reason the wind must have taken it quickly towards the Hobbs Eagle dugout. So a fly out off Eli Lopez's bat as it was caught by Fuentes. So the Carlsbad Cavemen do manage to get a couple of hits. Nobody, or actually one run comes home, and they leave one on. 3-0 your score. Carlsbad up over your Hobbs Eagles. We'll go to the bottom of the second. Hobbs to bat. Stay with us on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Back to live action here at Sportsman's Park. The Hobbs Eagles against the Carlsbad Cavemen. Blue squad is the district champs. The Eagles currently second in the district. Of course, right on their heels, though, is Clovis. Clovis beating Roswell last night. Carlsbad currently at 5-0. They were 6-0 last year. Hobbs at 2-4. And now Clovis is 2-3. Or actually, Hobbs 2-3 and Clovis 2-3. Same record. Up for the Eagles, Cole Kestner, the DH, getting his first chance at bat here. Curveball off the middle of the bat, going to go foul, though, towards the JV field over the Carlsbad dugout side. Cole Kestner 0 for 2 yesterday, flew out and had a strikeout. With big sluggers for the Eagles this season at .343, 24 hits, 23 RBIs, 6 doubles, a triple, and 4 homers. Curveball, a low shot there over the top was Kestner for the strike on the swing. Eagles batting .314 this season. Quick recycle for Evan Ortiz, now slowing it down just a bit. The windup in the throw. Fastball, high for ball 1. Count to 1-2 now to Kestner, 4th in the order. Tristan Montez, Jackson Souter, and Luke Parrish due next at 5 through 7. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Fastball, high one, and Kestner swing and a miss for strike 3. Second K issued for Ortiz. Hobbs looking for their first hit of the ball game, and hopefully that'll be Tristan Montez, the third baseman. Montez was the DH yesterday, and then when they had the injury to Taylor before the game started, like seconds before the game started, they had to pull him into a defensive position as well. He ended up playing third, but still batting as well. Montez 0 for 2 yesterday, ground to short, flew to left. Curveball inside. This is going to be a bouncer. 3 or 4 bounces. Hops over to Eli Lopez between first and second, the second baseman. Easy throw as he connects to first to Easy Lopez for the first out on the ground out by Montez. So 2 down now for the Eagles. Of course, Hobbs currently at 11th on the Max Preps poll. Stayed where they were for the previous one. Moving up to 12, Clovis right on their heels. 13th, Las Cruces. 14th, Volcano Vista. Las Cruces is definitely a dangerous one in that mix. They did split with the Eagles earlier this season. They're 14-10, so do have a better record. That could work to their advantage. But Hobbs has those championship pickoffs against Cleveland, and hopefully tonight against Carlsbad would add another positive to the resume. Curveball, swing and a miss there for the Eagles. Jackson Souter for the strike. Count to 1-1. Souter did get a walk yesterday in the second inning. Curve inside will be hit hard towards the Carlsbad dugout, right foul. Souter on the season at 133, 6 hits, 7 RBIs. A couple of doubles and a home run. 1-2 pitch from Ortiz inside, and he just barely picked his elbows up quick enough to keep them from getting hit by the ball. Of course, Hobbs hit 4 batters yesterday. One guy got hit twice. A lot of base runners, and add on the walks, they had 4 of those as well. 2-2 pitch, curveball low and inside for ball 3. Full count now. Jackson Souter getting back into the swing of things here. The lefty for the Eagles. Parrish, Udahara, and Sullivan will round out the order for the first time. Tees comes back with a curveball inside, a knuckler off the handle right across the top of the press box here as the ball rolls around the net in front of my head. Still full count now to Souter. Trying to get a base runner for the Eagles with 2 down, nobody on at this point. And a 3-0 lead for the Cavemen. Time called. Souter didn't like how long Ortiz was taking there on the mound. Bunch of teams have games May 1st still. We're going to have a few days before they have the announcement of the 16 teams. Curveball, swing and a miss. That will sit down Souter. So pitching is starting to be good like it was last night for Carlsbad. They've already had 3 Ks. Eagles have not got a hit yet. 3 up, 3 down here in the bottom of the second. Still 3-0 Carlsbad. We'll take a 60-second break, come back with more Hobbs Eagle baseball. Hobbs Eagles trailed 3-0 here. Top of the third. Carlsbad back at the plate. Both teams with 9 seniors this season. Hobbs will have their senior night right after the game. Alan Udahara, Hendricks Sullivan, Jason Fuentes, Luke Parrish, Chase Brister, Jaden Hernandez, Tristan Montez, Cole Kestner, and Jackson Souter. Those are your 9 seniors. And that's out of a total of 15. So 9 of the 15 players won't be back this year or next year due to graduation. There'll be some leftovers as well. Carson Phillips, a junior. Braden Dunlap, a freshman. He's been getting some good hits. 2 home runs so far this season. John Curtis, a junior. Cope Greben, sophomore. Ryan Granillo, a freshman. And Jaden Taylor, a junior. So 9 leaving and 6 sticking around. And they'll add on to that, of course, from the JV. 3-0 here in the top of the third. Hobbs trying to get some offense generated. Luke Parrish, the right fielder. He's 7th in the order for the Eagles. Curveball. Carlsbad. What am I talking about? Carlsbad at the plate here. Easy Lopez, the lefty, up for the Blue Squad. Get your scorecard in the right position. 0-1 pitch on the fastball, and holding on it was Lopez. Would like to have that bat on that one back. Just kept it solid. Had the RBI single back in the first with a run scored. His team leading 3-0. Here's the wind up the pitch from Brister. Fastball high for ball 1. Again, Chase, one of the seniors for the Eagles, 6'2", 185 pounds. In fact, he's the tallest player on the roster for Hobbs this year. Fastball, and that'll be strike 3 as Lopez will sit down. That'll be the second K of the ball game. Lopez and Hernandez have both gone down on Ks by Brister. Out number 1 for the Cavemen. So far for Carlsbad, they managed 4 hits. 3 of those singles and a double for Brock Wright. Now up, Jaden Carter, the left fielder. He has got a single back in the first. Him and Lopez back to back. Fastball clips the bottom of the strike zone for the strike. Carter 3rd in the order for the Cavemen. Here comes the windup and the throw from Brister. Fastball, it's barely outside for ball 1. Count to 1-1. Cozart and Hernandez, the next 2. 4th and 5th in the order for the Cavemen. Quick reload for Brister. Curveball Due down the pike. A little low, I guess, for ball 2. A little bit of hooting and hollering there for some Hobbs Eagle fans. Thought that should have been a strike. Still 3-0 ball game. Here comes Brister. Fastball high for ball 3. So getting ahead of the count now is Carter. Carter at left field for the Cavemen. They had their senior night last night, but more than definitely will have a playoff series next Friday and Saturday. Fastball inside and high for ball 4. That's a walk to Carter. First walk of the ball game for the Cavemen. And the playoff format is a best of 3. 2 out of the 3 there for home team. Game on Friday, 2 on Saturday if needed. So they definitely have 1 on Saturday. They might not have the 3rd game. Of course, Carlsbad knocked out by Cibola last year, the 14th seed, knocking off number 3. First round of the tournament. Wade Cozart now. Wild pitch gets through the legs of Hernandez, and that'll get the runner to second, so Carter getting a freebie there. Cozart, the lefty, ground to second back in the first. Carlsbad's record 15-10 doesn't look too great compared to the top 10 teams. Everybody else was single-digit losses, but of course the number 1 strength of schedule in the state at 17. So that kind of tells you with all the tough teams that they play. Of course, the Eagles with that win against Cleveland will help them out. Played several of these top teams. Piedra Vista, played Centennial, played Carlsbad tonight, Mayfield, Oregon Mountain. All those teams in the top 10. Curveball inside and high. That'll be a ball. Count to 3-0 now. Runner at second for the Cavemen. They lead 3-0 here. Slated for 7 at Sportsman's Park. Winds about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Brister goes the hard fastball outside and gets off the webbing of the glove of Hernandez. A hard shot there on the pitch. Runner's going to advance to third. That will also be a walk to Cozart. So runners at first and third. The position Brister was in back in the first inning. Now brings in the cleanup man, or correction, 5th in the order. Hernandez, the DH, struck out for the last out of the first inning. Of course, the game last night only went 5 innings, a 10-0 victory for the Cavemen. Little flinch from Brister on the mound. Thought about throwing it to first and just held on to it. Takes a look at both runners. Turns and fires a fastball high for ball 1. So, depending on what the Eagles end up in the seating, if they are one of the ones that have to travel, I mean, pretty much 2 zones that you might go to. Actually, right now, Carlsbad 6th, Hobbs 11th. Those 2 teams would match up in the first round if it stays the way it is. Wild pitch. Bounces off the knees of Hernandez behind the plate. That'll bring a runner home, and coming across the scoring run, Jaden Carter. So 4-0 to score now. Yeah, currently 6 versus 11 would be the seeding matchup. Carlsbad 6, Hobbs 11. But I think these numbers are going to change a little bit, especially between that 11 through 16 slots there. There's been some movement just overnight. Teams moving up and down. Out of Hobbs, Las Cruces, or not Hobbs, but Las Cruces, Volcano Vista, and Clovis all changing spots. Fastball low. Oh, bottom of the strike zone. They call the strike on that one. Count goes to 2-1. Hobbs the same record as Volcano Vista, who, by the way, 15.2 strength of schedule. Hobbs 15.4. So that's going to be kind of one we're going to have to watch close to in the next few days after their game. Fastball low for ball 3. 3-1 count now to Hernandez, the DH. Runner at second. Here's the windup of the throw from Brister. Fastball clips the bottom of the strike zone. Started to see the foot come over the bag or the plate for Hernandez that time, like he was getting ready to run up that first base line on the walk, but was called back. So full count now to Hernandez. Big pitch coming from Brister with 1 out. Curveball and a golf swing over the top. That'll be strike 3. Hernandez with his 2nd K of the ball game. The 3rd issued by Brister. And out number 2 for the Cavemen. 3 are making 4-0 your score. Another run came across here in this inning. 2 in the first, 1 in the second, and 1 in the third for the Cavemen. Brock Ryder hit a double back in the second. Fastball gets by Hernandez again, and the runner advancing to third. So some mistakes on some wild pitches here. Yesterday the issue was hitting batters, several of those getting base runners for Carlsbad. There was 4 hit by pitches yesterday between a couple of different pitchers for Hobbs. 2 walks so far in this game for the Cavemen. 1-0 count now to Brock Wright. Fastball, a little high for ball 1. I mentioned the Las Cruces team that's going to be hovering around Eagles 2, currently at 13th. They split with the Eagles earlier this season. Strike on the outside corner, 2-1 count. Cruces beat Eagles 10-2, and Hobbs returned the favor 13-3. So if you go head-to-head with those two teams and for a spot or a seed, Hobbs outscored them 15-13 earlier this season. Fastball outside for ball 3, 3-1 count now. So pitch to burn for Brock Wright. Of course, Brock hit that 3 RBI homer and had a double. Fastball, swing and a miss for the strike. He was 2 for 2 last night, was Wright. Also got hit by a pitch, so on base all 3 times on his home turf. Here's the full count coming from Brister. Fastball outside for the walk. 3rd walk of the ball game. Seeing this quite a bit. Carlsbad runners at first and third. Next up, Roberson, the catcher, 7th in the order. He had a single back in the second. Him and Wright both got hits, the double and then the single. 4 hits total for Carlsbad right now. Eagles looking for their first one of the ball game. 2 down, though, for the Eagle defense. Brister turns and looks at first and then gets the fastball low and outside. Good save for Hernandez, holding it between his knees there. Didn't get through. Right of the plate. Congratulations to the Hobbs tennis teams, boys and girls, district champs a couple nights ago. Had their singles tournament as well. 1-0 pitch, fastball outside off the chest protector that time, Hernandez. He's really putting his body in front of those pitches, keeping it in the zone and not getting by him that time either. 2-0 count. 4-0 score here at Sportsman's Park in favor of the Cavemen. Fastball high for ball 3. Well ahead of the count now is Roberson. So Herrera, it would be the 8th in the order. Mike Davis in 9th if they get that far with 2 down. Fastball clips the outside corner. There's the strike. Count to 3-1. Nice, cool, breezy day here at Sportsman. Flag blowing a little bit towards us, directly towards us here. Here comes the 3-1 from Brister. Curveball inside off the handle. Going to go foul right. 3rd time that's gone to the JV field. They're playing right now as well. Big pitch coming here from Brister. Force out would be at second. Nobody on that base, but runners at first and third. Curveball inside, and that's a hard shot. We're going to go foul quickly up the left wall near the Hobbs Eagle dugout. Bounces off hard and rolling down to the 3rd baseline from the foul side. It's like Cole Kester's going to run out there and get it from the dugout. Not playing defense today. He's the DH. Curveball inside. This is go high. Fly ball up in the infield. Should be plenty of time to react, but it's taken an hour to get down. The shortstop almost at the 3rd baseline, going towards home to make the catch. Wow, Fuentes. And he had to wait for that thing. I don't know what kept it up there, but it lost its weight for quite a long time. Those are kind of dangerous because if the wind starts picking it up, you don't know where it's going to come down at. Well, lots of walks issued to Carlsbad in that segment, but not much going on there. 3 walks, 2 Ks, no hits, And they leave 2 on base, no runs come across. Correction, 1 run comes across. 4-0. Carlsbad leading your Eagles, but the offense coming up, trying to get their first hit of the game to get back in this one. You're listening live to Hobbs Eagle District Baseball on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Evan Ortiz still warming up here. He's still the starter on the mound for the Cavemen, who lead 4-0 here. Bottom of the third. Hobbs trying to get on the bases and get somebody around to score. They have yet to get a hit. Haven't got through the lineup yet either. They had 6 up, 6 down, basically. Luke Parrish is going to try to change that. The right fielder, 7th in the order for the Eagles. Mentioned he had one of the 2 hits yesterday against Carlsbad on the road. Second at bat, he got a single, coupled with that double from Hernandez. Waiting for the pitch now from Ortiz. Here's the windup and the throw. Curveball off the handle. It's going to move just shy of that third baseline to the foul territory. Roll all the way to the green fence there in the corner. Still foul. Almost took out the third base umpire. No balls and a strike now to Parrish. Ortiz fires a fastball, just a little high for ball 1. Count to 1-1. Eagles with 3 Ks so far at the plate. Definitely want to change those numbers. Ortiz with the curveball, little check look here, and they're going to get the strike, clip the inside corner. Parrish kind of pulled back on the swing that time, and umpire got him, and Parrish looking back, getting a little bit of words of advice there from the umpire. Wagging the bat behind that right ear now. Here's the pitch coming from Ortiz. Curveball, good smack on it, but it's going to go foul. Parrish kind of claps on the bat after that one and wish he could just even that out just a bit. Good contact, though. Staying alive with the 1-2 count, Luke Parrish. Udahara and Sullivan, 8th and 9th in the order for the Eagles. Parrish trying to be the first base runner here in this bottom of the third. The windup in the throw. Curveball. This is going out towards center, but shallow. Now it's the second baseman. The air keeps it in the infield. Looked like it was going to head back a little bit. And the shortstop comes up near the pitcher's mound and makes the catch. That was Davis from short. Looked like it was going to dump in shallow center. And, boy, the wind is really sucking that ball up in the air. Anything that gets hit up, it's going to stay up for a while. Fly out, unfortunately, for Parrish. Brings up 8th in the order, Alan Udahara, the second baseman, the lefty. Okay, thank you. They just made a switch there. Hendrick Sullivan is at the 8th spot here on the plate. Thank you. So left fielder Sullivan takes the first pitch outside for ball 1. The second one coming out from Ortiz. Curveball off the end of the bat, right to us 3D style here. Bunch of chalk flying in our faces as well. Sullivan not at the plate yesterday in the game in Carlsbad. One count. Ortiz, curveball off the end of the bat. This time going to head towards the Hobbs Eagle dugout, hit the netting, and then slid over the top of the black and gold there. Watching the ball game from the side. Hendrick Sullivan, one of the seniors on the squad, also played some basketball this year, guard position. He's coming back with a 1-2 pitch. Curving inside, down near the shoelaces. Good eye for Sullivan to hold on that one. Count even up at 2-2. Listening live to Hobbs Eagle Baseball, regular season here, last game. HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and the Cool 95.7 Facebook page. Curveball, that's going to be sent foul as well over the top of our dugout towards the softball field behind us. Pretty much a breezy wind out there, but still kind of a weird cycle when you hit it up and straight up above the infield. Or it looks like sometimes it goes to the outfield, but it comes back, boomerang style. 2-2 pitch, curve, check, swing. Oh, we got lucky on that one. A little bit inside for the ump. That'll be a ball and a full count now to Hendrick Sullivan. One down for the Eagles here and a 3-2 count. Bottom of the third inning, Hobbs trailing 4-0. Fastball low, hit low as well. The shortstop gets down on a knee, just barely with the glove above the field turf there and makes the catch. Had his glove close to the turf. That was Davis on the catch, so the low shot there for Sullivan. Unfortunately, couldn't get through the gap. And that brings up bottom of the order, Udahara. 2 down for the Eagles. Fastball inside for the ball. Udahara was not on the batting order last night. Curveball, check swing inside, a little low for ball 2. Of course, Udahara was the starting pitcher, so that's meant he was not at the plate. Did get relieved by Parrish, and then Parrish relieved by Phillips in that ball game. 2-0 count now to Udahara. Fastball hits the plate and gets by the catcher, Roberson, but nobody on the bases, so no damage for the Cavemen. Count goes to 3-0 now. Sullivan well ahead of the order, or well ahead of the count. Sullivan does not have any walks this season. He's getting real close to one here. That would be the first walk of the game for the Eagles, too. Curveball inside, and there it is. So Sullivan's going, or Udahara, excuse me, he's going to get on. Still switching those guys up again. Udahara, that was his 4th walk of the ball game, or of the season. So runner at first now for the Eagles. They trail 4-0. Top of the order now, John Curtis, second time for him at the plate. He ground to second back in the first inning. Ortiz taking his time. Curveball inside. Ooh, boy, the ump gets the call on that one. Calls it a strike. Like Curtis trying to back up just a bit on it. Trying to advance Udahara at first is Curtis. Ortiz comes back, fastball, yanked towards right. It's going to take a roll up the first baseline, and that should be a single. Runner going to advance to third, though. That was Sullivan getting the wheels on, so he's in scoring position. First hit of the ball game for John Curtis and the team. And that's going to bring up Jason Fuentes, the shortstop. Eagles now have runners at first and third. We saw a lot of that from Carlsbad in the last couple innings. They got 2 in the first, 1 in the second, 1 in the third, so they've had consistent scoring throughout, even though just a 4-0 lead. Fuentes definitely wants to get some good contact on this one and keep it away from second. That would be the force out and out 3. Ortiz winds up and fakes the throw to third and instead throws to first just to get the runners back to where they belong. Fuentes has 20 RBIs this season, currently tied for third with a bunch of other guys. Curtis and Montez with 20. Curveball inside, hit right to third, throws it across the field and connects. Cozart to Lopez on the 5-3. So unfortunately the Eagles had some runners on, just couldn't get them through. They do get a hit out of Curtis. Leave 2 on, no runs come across. We head to the top of the 4th. Still Carlsbad 4, your Hobbs Eagles nothing here at Sportsman's Park to find a regular season game of district. Stay with us on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Back at Sportsman's Park, Carlsbad leading 4-0 over your Hobbs Eagles. Chase Brister on the mound for the Eagles still. Fastball low and outside for ball one. He pitches against Richie Herrera. Fielder's choice back in the second. 4 hits so far for Carlsbad. 3 singles and a double. Brister's fastball going to be a bouncer across third base. They're going to call that barely foul. Good coverage out there by Montez. Little hippity-hop action behind the plate. Off the bounce and ready to throw, but called off at the last second. Start to hear a little wind there in the microphone. It's a nice cool night for baseball. Just a one-gamer, too. Second of the series. Here's the 1-1 from Brister. Curveball. Right down the middle for the strike. Good hold there, but Herrera's going to pay for it. And he's got himself a shoulder strap on here, too. Left shoulder strapped up. Here's a 1-2 from Brister. Pass ball high for ball 2. 2-2 count now to Herrera, 8th in the order. Mike Davis will round it out for the second time. No outs here, no runners for the Cavemen. Brister not wasting any time. Fastball, swing and a miss. That'll be strike 3. So 4 Ks so far off the pitching of Brister. We saw that last night, too. The Eagles shutting down some guys. 8 Ks in that game. Alan Udahar was the starter. Parrish came in relief, and so did Carson Phillips late before the game shut down after the 5th inning. 10-0 final on that one. So 1 out. Brister with the fastball. Clips the outside corner for the strike to Mike Davis. Hey, Davis on due to an error back in the second. Brister curveball, swing and a miss for Davis. Strike 2. 0-2 count now to Davis. Go to the top of the order after this, the 2 Lopez's. Here's the 0-2 fastball, check swing, and it's going to be a blooper down the first base line. Takes a bounce and rolls out foul, but it was in play long enough. That will be a double put on the wheels as Davis slides into second, probably didn't have to. Chasing it down for the Eagles out in right was Parrish. It's kind of just a blooper shot out there. It was placed just high enough to get over the infield and drop down and rolled a little bit. So a single for Davis. That'll be the 5th hit for the Cavemen. They had 6 yesterday in the full game in 5 innings. Top of the order, Eloy Lopez. He is 0 for 2, got on due to an error, did score a run after that, and flew to short. Again, wind is kind of a factor in the infield. If you pop it up, it's going to stay up there for a while. That could cause some problems for the infielders, though, for the Eagles, or either team for that matter. Showing bunt. Slop it down outside the first baseline to Carlsbad's dugout. For Lopez, Eloy Lopez. Easy Lopez, the first baseman, up next. Eloy, the one up now, is second baseman. Brister takes a peek back at second to check out the runner. That's Davis. Another bunt show. Gets spun around, does Lopez, and he's going to be hit by a pitch. He throws his bat. He's in a happy camper. Oh, he's got some words for the umpire. Umpires are walking behind him. Oh, the guy's still yelling. Eloy Lopez not happy being hit by that pitch. And boy, that ump takes him almost all the way down to the first bag. So that will be hit by a pitch first time in this game. There was 4 yesterday. Easy Lopez up next. He's 1 of 2. RBI single, a run scored, and struck out. So 1 for 2 at the plate. He's a lefty. 4-0 Carlsbad, top of the 4th. Slated for 7 here at Sportsman's Park. Runners at first and second. Curveball outside for the ball. Carlsbad winning both games of the 2-game set last year. Both at home and away. Don't do the best of 3 anymore in the district. That's been off for a couple years. Curveball inside for ball 2. A lot of people wonder why that changed, and it's pretty much because that gives our teams in district a chance to play some of the top teams around the state. That does help you. You beat a district champ. That gives you some bonus points for the playoffs to get in. That's like us Hobbs beating Cleveland, and hopefully Carlsbad then come back here. Curveball inside. Whiffing on it there was Lopez for the strike. 2-1 count now to Easy Lopez. So Hobbs can either add some just single games, 3 single games without having the doubleheaders in the district, or go into one tournament with 3 games. Here's a 2-1 pitch. Boy, that's a sinker, and over the top of Lopez, lost his balance and flopped right down in the box. Runner does get advancement from second to third. Count now 2-2. One out for the Cavemen. They got runners at first and third. Still a 4-0 ball game, though. Taking a little bit more time is Brister. Checks the runner first. Turns and fires. Fastball off the handle. Going to take a bounce towards second. Should be an easy play for the Eagles, and is so, as Udahara fires it over to Souter for the out on the 4-3. Out number 2. It's a ground out for Easy Lopez. Nobody comes across. Oh, actually, yeah, runner did score on that one. Was a runner at third, so he comes in. That'll bring up Jaden Carter now, third in the order. He is 1 for 1 with a single. Had a walk and a run scored on top of that. Brister with the fastball outside for the ball. One ball, no strike to Carter. Brister fastball high for the ball. 3-0 count now as Carter getting ahead of the pitch count. 5-0 score. One has been added here in the fourth. Fastball gets the outside corner for the strike. Carter now 3-1 count as he's got to be thinking about whether he wants to swing or not. He has one to burn here. He is third in the order. Wade Cozart, the cleanup man, next. Here's the windup of the throw from Brister. Curveball by the chin. That'll be a walk. Second walk to Carter. And that'll be the fourth of the ball game given to the Cavemen. Runner at first and second now for the Blue Squad as Brister ties his right shoe up on the mound. Wade Cozart ground to second, also walked. He's 1 of 2 at the plate, or 1 of 1 at the, or 0 of 1 at the plate. Brister comes to the curveball off the handle, going to be sailing towards the side fence on the right. Bounces off of that in foul territory. Carlsbad with 2 runs in the first, 1 in the second, 1 in the third, and 1 in this inning, the fourth. 5-0 score off a total of 4 hits. Make it 5 hits. 4 singles and a double. The 0-1 pitch, fastball. Clicks the inside corner for the strike. 0-2 now to Cozart. Cozart had a walk yesterday, went 0 for 2 at the plate. Brister looks back at second. Turns and unloads a curveball high for ball 1. Count to 1-2. Riley Hernandez up next, the DH. He struck out twice, 2 of the 4 Ks issued by Brister. Fastball, hard slap towards right. It'll stay on the ground as well. That'll be a single connected by Cozart. Will score a run, RBI single for Cozart. That will score Jaden Carter. And that'll make it 6-0 here at Sportsman's Park in favor of the visiting Cavemen. Of course, Carlsbad won the district championship last night. They're 5th in a row. Last year we're 6-0, right now 5-0. Eagles and Clovis are neck and neck. Both of those teams split, of course, against each other. So, pretty big game in this series for both teams. 2 down, though, for the Hobbs Eagle D. Fastball sinker at the last second there. Swing and a miss for Hernandez. Runners at first and third for the Cavemen. Force out at second. Brister comes back with a curveball. Belt high. And then drops quickly for the ball. Staying right up with it was Hernandez. Almost thought that was going to hit him and did not want to see him getting to load the bases. Big leadoffs at both first and third due to the 2 outs. And Brister kind of flinches a little bit towards first. The runner goes back face first. Didn't have to. No throw there. Here's the 1-1. Fastball high, ball 2. Hernandez jumping up quickly just to make sure the runners didn't get too much off those bags. Carlsbad matching their run production of the first inning, 2. Brister with the fastball outside, a swing and a miss for Hernandez. Count goes to 2-2. He's had 2 Ks so far, so he's eager to get some contact, but nicely placed pitch deep back corner outside. Starting to see Fuentes kind of move towards second from short. Thought maybe Hernandez was going to do something. We got runners at second and third. The runner did advance. That was fastball down the middle, just low. Hobbs fans not happy about that one. A full count now. Big pitch coming from Brister. 2 down. Runners at second and third. 6-0 Carlsbad lead. Brister's going to come with the fastball. Down the pike. Easy call on that one. That's a K. 3 Ks for Hernandez, and the 5th of the game for Chase Brister on the mound for the Eagles. So trying to keep those runs from coming in. A couple will do, though, as Carlsbad does get 2 hits. They get 2 to score, and they leave 2 on the bases. 6-0, Carlsbad leading Hobbs. The Black and Gold at the plate next on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Bottom of the 4th inning here at Sportsman's Park. Ty Friend here with you. Hobbs Eagles playing their last regular season district game against the Cavemen, the district champs. Eagles have 1 hit with a single for Curtis. Been walked once for Udahara, and 3 Ks at this point. Jaden Hernandez up at the plate. He flew to second back for the last out of the first inning. 6 hits for the Cavemen so far. Fastball low and outside for ball 1 off the pitch from Ortiz. Carlsbad sitting at the number 6 spot in the Max Press Ball. They'll have a home game more than likely next week. Curveball inside. Got a good walk on that one. It's going to go foul. Out to the light post there in the deep left field. Foul territory. Now the Hobbs Eagle batting cages and bullpen. 1 ball and 1 strike. Here's the windup for Ortiz. Fastball. This is heading out to left center. It's going to go towards the fence. And then the wind holds it up for just a second. The left fielder comes way over to left center. And going face-to-face with his center fielder, Hernandez. Makes the catch out there, does the left fielder. And that's Carter. So a fly out for Hernandez. Again, wind is starting to pick that ball up in the air quite a bit. You can see the trees now blowing around a lot. So 1 down for the Eagles. Cole Kester now, the cleanup man, struck out back in the second. He is the DH in the game. Ortiz comes at him with a curveball off the handle. It's going to be a blooper, a 1-hopper. Easy pickup by Lopez. Fires to first for the out. Lopez to Lopez on the 4-3. Ground out for Kestner. So Hobbs 2 up. Hopefully not 3 down here on the next. But Tristan Montez, the third baseman, coming in with the ground to second back in the second. Coach Boyle just kind of staring ahead out to the field, trying to see if we can get some runners out there. 2 outs for the Eagles here. Bottom of the 4th. Ortiz curveball, a little flinch there by Tristan, and gets with the ball inside. more time here for Ortiz, getting the pitch call he wants. Fastball outside for ball 1. At the end of the third yesterday, Carlsbad was up 5-0. Right now 6-0 here in the bottom of the fourth. The Eagles at the plate. 2 balls and no strike to Tristan Montez. Fastball takes a dive, a little low of the strike zone for the ball. 3-0 count. Montez wanting to be a base runner here. Hobbs has 1 walk so far with Udahara. Montez would like to make it a second hit of the game for the Eagles. 3-0 pitch. Fastball. Clips the outside corner for the strike. You expect that one to come. Montez swirling both wristbands there on both left and right wrists when he stepped out. Back into the box he goes. He has 1 pitch he can burn with a 3-1 count. Ortiz fires a fastball. That's going to go off the handle again. Right back to that second baseman, Lopez. And right back to the other Lopez on another 4-3. So deja vu, unfortunately, on those last 2 at-bats. 3 up, 3 down for the Eagles. Nobody gets on. Nobody comes across. 6-0 Carlsbad going to the 5th. We only went 5 yesterday, but the Hobbs Eagles hopefully will keep it. They will get a shot to be up at the plate, though, even if it does go to 10. But right now, just at 6, so hopefully Eagles defense can take care of business. We'll be back live in 60 seconds. Top of the 5th inning here at Sportsman's Park. Hobbs and Carlsbad. The Eagles trail 6-0. The blue squad at the plate now for the Cavemen. Brock Wright, he is 6th in the order. Takes a curveball inside, a hard whack off the ground to Fuentes at short. Fires at first. It's behind the first bag, and Souter has to back it up, backpedaling on that first baseline behind the bag. Able to track it down, but it will be enough time for the runner to get there. So that will get right on. So the hit issued to Brock Wright on a single. Fastball, this is going high up in the air towards right shallow. Nice sprint there. As Parrish going foul territory. Also some help from his second baseman, Udahara. Boy, talk about a track meet. Sprint to the finish. Unfortunately, the wind took it to the sidewall on the right side of the field and next to the Carlsbad dugout. So Brock Wright with the start-off single. And now it's Connor Roberson, the one that hit the foul there. And the wind doing some wicked stuff to the ball now. But got to give a lot of credit for 2 guys out there for the Eagles. The right fielder and the second baseman putting on a track star meet there. Fastball, swing and a miss for Roberson. Count goes to 0-2 now to him. He's 1 of 2 with a single and flew to short. So Fuentes picking him off earlier. 6-0 though. Carlsbad leads here on the top of the 5th. Taking some time as Brister curve it inside, gets through the second, third gap out to left. Closer to third base that time. Scooped up by Sullivan to keep it a single. Back-to-back hits now for Carlsbad. Time called here as they get balls in. 8 hits so far for the Cavemen, 1 for the Eagles, and a 6-0 lead for the blue and white. Runners at first and second for Carlsbad. Richie Herrera now up. He had a fielder's choice and a strikeout. Hobbs has had 5 Ks in this game off the pitching of Brister so far. Herrera's going to waggle that bat behind the right side of the helmet. Brister looks twice to second, turns and fires. A bunt back to Brister, left to the mound. He has to come off, bobbles it for second, and that'll be enough time for Herrera to make it to first. Speedster getting there to the first bag. So the runners at first and third, or all bases loaded now. Just running that out was Herrera. Bases loaded for Mike Davis. Davis got on due to an error and a single earlier. This would be, if a home run would be game over, or 10-run rule. Curveball inside, going to be fouled towards the Carlsbad dugout. Souter decided to take a run towards the gate in front of the dugout, but the wind took that over the netting and out of play towards the JV field. Just when you thought you had a chance to get it, the wind just takes it away from you. Back in the box goes Davis. He's bottom of the order. They have gone through the order 3 times so far with a 6-0 lead. Brister comes back with a curveball inside, off the handle, out towards left center. Is going to go shallow. Coming up on it, Sullivan, the left fielder. He's going to chuck it into the infield all the way home. It's in front of the plate, though, and sliding in for the run. As the score for Brock Wright. So sac fly for Mike Davis. RBI. And the score now 7-0. Runner still first and third. Top of the order, Eloy Lopez. Air, flew to short, and hit by a pitch. Did score a run off his first at bat. Time called. Stepping in front of the plate is Hernandez, the catcher. Looks like there might have been some words there as Lopez looking back and jawing a little bit. Open base at second. Fastball outside. Nice save with a backhand by Hernandez. Sliding right side of the plate. Stretched that arm out there and is able to corral that down. 2 runs in the first, 1 apiece, second and third, 2 in the fourth, and 1 here in the fifth for the Caveman. They've scored in every inning. There's a 1-0 showing bunt. A dribbler down the first base line, scooped by Brister, fires to first. The run does score. Sack bunt for Eloy Lopez. So now make it 8-0 in favor of Carlsbad. Still in the top of the 5th inning. Slated for 7 here at Sportsman's Park. It looks like they're just going to go ahead and walk him. That's going to be Easy Lopez. So that'll be the 5th walk. That one on purpose, though. Easy Lopez had a single, struck out. Jaden Carter now, he is 1 for 1 with a single, also walked twice, scored 2 runs, so he's been on all 3 times. High fastball, swing and a miss for Carter. First and second bases with runners for the Cavemen. 2 outs, though, for the Eagles. Force out would be a 3rd. He is 3rd in the order for the Blue Squad. Here's to waggle that bat. Fastball. Outside for ball 1, count to 1-1. Brister came in with a 2-4 record, his 9th game of the year, and 5.89 ERA. Takes a peek back at second, turns, fires, curveball inside, golf swing. Ball gets loose on the right of the plate, but picked up by Hernandez. Get it back to Brister at the mound. Contact made there by Carter. Carter's got 2 walks to his name as well. Brister going to take a little bit more time here, getting the pitch call he wants. Fastball at the end of the bat. That's going to the JV field, right side foul. 2 games going on here at Sportsman's Park. Of course, Hobbs that Eagles softball team in Carlsbad as well tonight. Both games moved from Friday up to Wednesday. Curveball, check swing. Bounced off the home plate, and the count goes to 2-2 on the ball. Carter barely pulling that bat out of there in time. Didn't come around too much on it. Count 2-2-2 with the 2 outs. Brister going to step off the rubber and think about those runners a little bit more. Multiple hitters so far. Wright with 2 hits. Roberson with 2. Fastball to Carter at the middle of the bat. A little curve action. Goes out into right field. It's going to take a roll. At least a single, 1 RBI on that one. A runner does score. So Carter getting his second single of the ball game. And that's going to be Herrera, the one that came across, making it 9-0. Now, of course, Mercy rule's 10, the 10-run rule, but Hobbs would still get a chance to bat because that has to be through the 5th inning, and we're not through that yet, just the top of the 5th. 9-0 game with runners at 1st and 3rd. We've been that way for quite a bit of it here. Carlsbad every inning seems like they have that configuration out there. Brister looks at first, checking the runner. Cozart at the plate for Carlsbad. Curveball inside. Hernandez lost it behind the plate, thought it was off to the right, and looked down and was not there and had to come back towards it. Runner decided to stay at first. Carter. Cozart has an RBI single. Ground to second, had a walk too. He's been on base 2 of 3 times. Biggest run production of the game so far for Carlsbad, 3 runs here in the 5th. Curveball inside off the handle, right back at his 3D style for the foul. He is the cleanup man for the Cavemen. Riley Hernandez due up next with 3 Ks in the game. 2 down for the Cavemen. Brister, the starter for the Eagles, has a 1-1 count. Curve it inside. High for ball 2. Looks like a little work going on in the bullpen for the Eagles right now. Hobbs with 3 pitchers on the mound yesterday in Carlsbad in 5 innings. Little flinch there from Brister on the rubber there as the runner gets back to first. Ball not thrown over to first. Here comes the windup in the throw. Curveball clips the outside corner for the strike. 2-2. Umpire was ringing it up there and forgot that he didn't have 3 strikes yet. Waves over to Coach McGahey there at third and said, my mistake. So lefty's still alive, Wade Cozart. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And a 9-0 lead here in the top of the 5th. 3 runs that come across for the Cavemen. Brister with the fastball at the end of the bat. That's going to go out towards left. Looks like it's going to have a quick curve and head out to the foul territory. Got close to the green wall out there, outside the 3rd baseline. Got some distance on that one, just not straighten up the way that Cozart wanted it. Runners got to come all the way back to their bases now. 2-2 count still at the contact there for Cozart. Brister not hurrying anything up here. Let's make sure he gets the pitch he wants. Boy, the steal almost all the way to second before the pitch. High one. Curve, swing and a miss. And that will be strike 3. Boy, the stolen base was there before the pitch even came across. A hard sprint there for Jaden Carter. But on the strikeout, that's number 6 of the game for Chase Brister. But it is 9-0, so it saves the 10-run rule. So this will at least go to the 6th. But Hobbs right now worried about getting some runs. Down 9-0, heading to the bottom of the 5th. You're listening live to Hobbs Eagle District Baseball on HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and Cool 95.7's Facebook page. Hobbs Eagles trailing 9-0 here, bottom of the fifth. We are slated for 7 at Sportsman's Park. Eagles trying to stay away from the 10-run rule. Jackson Satter into the game now for the Eagles. His second time at bat. He is 6th in the order, struck out back in the second for the third out of the inning. Ortiz still the pitcher for Carlsbad. Little curve there down the middle for the strike. Only given up 1 hit so far, the single to Curtis. He is a lefty, of course, Souter, playing first in this game. Curveball, a little flinch for Souter. Clips the outside corner for the strike. 0-2 count now to Souter. Parrish, Sullivan, and Udahara, 7 through 9 in the order for the Eagles. Had 1 walk and 1 hit so far for the team. Curveball high for ball 1. 1-2 count now for Jackson Souter. Carlsbad comes in 15-10. And district champs, Eagles at 12-13 currently. Would like to go to 500. Curveball off the thick of the bat. Going to go high in the air towards center. Shortstop started to go out there, but waved off by his center fielder. That's Hernandez telling Davis, get out of my way. Let me have the glory on this one. And really don't know where that ball's going to end up with the wind when it gets up in the air like that. But a fly out for Souter, unfortunately. The out. 1 down for the Eagles. Luke Parrish now comes back. He flew out to second in the 3rd inning. The right fielder for the Eagles. Trying to get to be a base runner for Hobbs. Pitch from Ortiz coming. Curveball. Gets a piece of it. Going to go foul to the right. Bounces off the top of the fence and goes over. 2 of the Carlsbad players going up there like they're trying to steal a home run in the right foul territory next to Carlsbad's dugout. So ESPN real stuff there. Looked like it bounced off the top of the side fence there and went over. Still foul, 0-1 count now to Parrish. 1 out for the Eagles. Ortiz taking some time here. Curveball, same spot again. This one's going to take a little bit more distance foul over to the JV field on the right side. Getting some contact is Luke Parrish, trying to straighten it out just a bit. Eagles batting .314 this season, heading to the game. Fastball low and outside for ball 1. Carlsbad 5-0, Hobbs 2-3, Clovis 2-3. So those 2 teams battling for second with this last series. Of course, they split earlier this year. Time called. Clovis playing Roswell. Hobbs beat Clovis in game 1, 20-13. Lost to Clovis 6-2 in game 2, so they outscored them by 3 runs. Fastball, swing and a miss, and that will sit down Parrish, unfortunately, for the strikeout. 4th K for the Eagles. So Hobbs again had 3 more runs than Clovis did in their 2-game matchup. Hobbs also split with Roswell, beat them 8-5, and then lost 13-11. So Hobbs outscored them 19-18. So I have a little bit of advantage on runs against those 2 squads in the district. 2 down for the Eagles. So bring up Sullivan, who flew to short back in the 2nd. Correction, the 3rd. Good chop on that one. Goes foul right in the middle of the backstop for Hendricks. Hobbs getting their hit back in the 3rd inning. That was John Curtis we mentioned. Also had a walk in that inning. Wind up in the throw from Ortiz. Curveball sinks down low, short of the strike zone for ball 1. Count to 1-1 now to Sullivan. Udahara, 9th in the order for the Eagles. That'll be 2nd time through the lineup, but they can get there hopefully. Ortiz comes back with a curveball right down the middle for the strike. Count to 1-2. Bottom of the 5th inning. 3 runs were scored by Carlsbad at the top. Ortiz has noted a couple pitch calls from his catcher. Throws a curveball inside that brushes back Sullivan. Count goes to 2-2 on the ball. Two balls and two strikes to Hendrick Sullivan. Fastball bounces off the left of the plate in the ball territory there. Nice save by Roberson, the catcher, but no runners on at this point for the Eagles. Senior night as well. 9 seniors going to be recognized after the game. Definitely something you might want to come out and see if you're not here at the game currently. Here's the full count pitch outside. That'll be for the ball and the walk for Sullivan. Second walk for the Eagles in this game. They got themselves a base runner now. Hopefully to hit him around. Udahara up next, 9th in the order. He got a walk back in the 3rd inning. Then we'll go to the top of the order. Last night, the pitcher for the Cavemen went the distance, Wade Cozart. Fastball outside, jumping up with it was Roberson, the catcher, and kind of flinched a little bit like he was going to throw it to first, but Sullivan back in time, no problem there. 1 ball and no strikes to Udahara. Sinker down low for ball 2. 2-0 count now to Udahara. Curtis, Fuentes, and Hernandez, 1, 2, 3 in the order for the Eagles. Here comes a 2-0 from Ortiz. Curveball off the end of the bat. It's going to roll to second. Lopez is going to flick it over to his shortstop who covers that second bag. Coming over to get it was Davis for out number 3. So that'll do it for the Eagles offense on that series. No hits, 1 walk, 1 left on. We head to the bottom of, or top of the 6th as your Hobbs Eagles trail 9-0. Carlsbad would like to get 1 more run to get this in the 10-inning run rule here in the 6th inning. Last night, of course, shut down after 5, 10-0 the final on that one as the district champs, 5th in a row for the blue and white. But the Eagles would like to come back and own their home field here. We'll be back in 60 seconds. There's a pitching change here at Sportsman's Park. Hendrick Sullivan now, the senior, is out on the mound. He's got a 2-1 record, his 8th game appearance, and a 2.44 ERA as he comes in relief for Chase Brister. Brister ended up giving up a total of 9 hits, 5 walks, and 6 strikeouts in the game. Most of those hits, in fact, all but 1, it looks like, are singles and a double for Brock Wright. 9-0 your score. Carlsbad leading here in the top of the 6th inning. Now the 10-run rule could be in effect here in the 6th. Carlsbad 1 away from those numbers at this point. Has to get past the 5th before that could come into play, though, which it is by now. I think they have a sub here for the batter because the one prior, Hernandez, was 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. So they do have a new guy up at the plate. Kind of stuck him in there quick. Umpire to run over there to make the change as well. That's Aaron Hernandez. Has not played any defense in this game, so his first time in the contest. Takes the first pitch from Sullivan, of course, the reliever for the Eagles. Fastball low for ball 1. Sullivan was ready to go again, but the batter kind of balked a little bit there. Fastball outside, ball 2. 2 quick pitches for Sullivan. Now a couple Hernandezes on the roster for Carlsbad. 2-0 pitch, fastball, a little flinch. They're going to call that one low for ball 3. So Aaron Hernandez well up in the order, or well up in the pitch count here. Burn a few pitches if he wants. 3-run score for Carlsbad in the last inning. Fastball clips the outside corner for the strike. 3-1 count now to Hernandez. Carlsbad has scored in every inning in this game. Fastball, hard shot in the gap. Hits the shortstop for the Eagles. Bounces off the glove. A hard one for Fuentes to handle. That should be a single there because it definitely had some muster behind that one. So that gets him to first. The sub for Aaron Hernandez came in for another Hernandez. So now they got a runner at first here in the top of the 6th. Brock Wright now, who is 2 for 2, a double, a single, 2 runs, and a walk. He's been on base all 3 times for the Cavemen. Sullivan goes to the fastball. Barely missing outside for ball 1. Both teams will find out their fate for the playoffs in this weekend coming up. There's teams playing on May 1st, so there's still some time left before that happens. Curveball clips the inside corner. It took a while to get there, but it did. On the strike, 1-1 count. Carlsbad definitely in. They're 6th in the state right now, so they're probably going to have a home series after this double up with the Eagles. Fastball down the pike for the strike, count to 1-2. Eagles, they're kind of wondering what's going to happen in terms of their seeding. Right now at 11th and the second best strength of schedule. There's a couple of teams hovering around them right now and kind of dangerously. Las Cruces and Volcano Vista. Cruces split with them. Clovis has also moved up to 12. They split with the Eagles too with a 13-12 record. Fastball outside for the ball, count to 2-2. So Las Cruces, Volcano Vista, Clovis, Rio Grande. Those are the ones that are going to kind of be mixing around a little bit. Some big final games of the regular season for them as well. I think Las Cruces is kind of dangerous for that spot. Volcano Vista too. Curveball inside, does hit the batter. That's going to send Brock Wright to first. Second hit by pitch in this game. Was 4 last night. Runners at first and second now with no outs. This game is slated for 7. A single matchup. Cleveland, of course, number 1, 22-3. Eagles picked them off once this year. That's a good bonus point for them for the beating a district champ. Rio Rancho moved into second last night. And Piedra Vista at number 3. Hobbs played them as well. Fastball down the middle for the strike. Cueva number 4, Centennial number 5, and Carlsbad at 6. It's El Dorado 7, Mayfield 8. Los Lunas moved up to 9 last night. Organ Mountain dropped to 10. And then, of course, the logjam in terms of the 11 through 16 seeds after that, including the Eagles at number 11. Sullivan takes a couple of peeks back at second, turns and fires a fastball, gets that outside corner again for strike 2. So Roberson had some issues making some decisions on swing of the bat. He's 2 for 3, by the way, 2 singles and flew to short. So a couple of shots coming to Fuentes in this ball game. The wind up in the throw from Sullivan. Fastball right in the same spot. Ooh, this time a little low, I guess. Some moaning from the Hobbs Eagle fans. Thought that one should be a K to finish him up. No outs, though, for Carlsbad with runners at first and second. Trying to extend their 9-0 lead here in the top of the 6th. Sullivan in relief for Brister. Curveball inside, and a good crank on it, but it's going to hit the sidewall on the left foul territory. Bounces back into left field a little bit. Of course, Sullivan was actually out in left field before he moved to pitcher. 1-2 count. Comes back to the fastball, swinging a miss, losing his balance and kind of stumbled over the plate was Roberson for the K. That's the first K given by Sullivan. That's the total of 7 in this ball game. 1 down for the Cavemen. Still 9-0 in favor of the Blue Squad. Runners at first and second. Brings up Richie Herrera, 8th in the order. Had a single and a run scored earlier. Fastball, clips the outside corner for the strike. Also had a fielder's choice and struck out. 10 hits so far for Carlsbad. Sullivan, fastball, check swing. There's a strike for Herrera. Count to 0-2. Eagles hit coming from John Curtis, the top of the order for Hobbs. Multiple hits for Carter, Wright, and Roberson, 2 apiece. Here's the 0-2. Curveball inside, another check swing, lost in front of the plate there by Hernandez. Call that one a ball. Looks like Herrera definitely committing on that. They're going to have a appeal down to first. They're going to say, nope, he didn't come around enough. So count now to 1-2. Mike Davis will round out the order for Carlsbad. He has a single to his name. Seven Couple looks back at second, turns and fires the fastball. Outside, ball 2, evens up the count at 2-2. Listening live to Hobbs Eagle District Baseball on HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and the Cool 95.7 Facebook page. Of course, we will be with you for the playoffs, too. Hopefully the Eagles will punch their ticket this weekend for a best-of-3 series somewhere. Leadoffs at both first and second for the Cavemen. Curveball comes down and off the end of the bat to the middle of the backstop behind home plate for the foul. Getting a piece of it was Herrera. Clovis and Roswell with their final series, and Clovis winning yesterday, but they want to stay even with the Eagles. Definitely like to win another one today against the Coyotes. Of course, all these 3 teams split with each other so far. Here's the 2-2 fastball. Strike 3. Delayed strike call there. Not quite sure what the call is going to be on that one. So back-to-back Ks issued by Sullivan. It's his second K of the game and 8th overall for the Eagles pitching staff. Did include the starter Chase Brister. Bottom of the order, Mike Davis, his 4th time at the plate. Got a single, got on due to an error, and then a sack for an RBI. 2 down now. Here at the top of the 6th. Carlsbad trying to add on to a 9-0 lead. Fastball outside, diving for it. Nice save for Hernandez. Got in the webbing as he put his arm out there as far as he could stretch it. Flattened his body out on the field turf on the right of the plate. There's only been one guy on the, actually 2 guys on the lineup that have not had a hit in this one for Carlsbad. Foul ball to the right of the backstop. One guy that had 3 strikeouts got subbed out, and then his backup came in and got a single himself. Other than that, Eloy Lopez at the top of the order hasn't yet have a hit to his name. 1 ball and 1 strike to Davis. Still runners at first and second for Carlsbad. Sullivan, fastball, down the pike for the strike. Count goes to 1-2 to Davis. Force out at third for the Hobbs Eagle D. Sullivan trying to shut down any runs coming across here in the 6th. Fastball off the end of the bat, got to go out to short, scooped, and this little flick to second. Good coverage there as Fuentes gives it to Utahara for out number 3. So the ground out for Davis, and they go through their order 4 times. For the Cavemen, though, they get 1 hit. No runs come across, 2 left on base. We head to the bottom of the 6th. Eagles still alive, down 9-0 here at Sportsman's Park. Come back with this in 60 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Hobbs Eagles trailing 9-0 here. Bottom of the 6th, trying to get some bats working. 1 hit so far for Hobbs. There's been 11 for Carlsbad and the 9 runs scored. Eagles with 3 errors so far. Eagles at the plate now. John Curtis to start the order for Hobbs for the 3rd time. He's 1 of 2 with a single and a ground to second. Takes an inside curve for the ball call. One of the lefties for the Eagles. Fuentes, Hernandez, and Kestner 2 through 4 in the order. Fastball down low for ball 2, 2-0 count. Still Ortiz on the mound, the starter for the Cavemen. Hobbs hasn't had a hit since the 3rd inning and trying hopefully to get something going here in the 6th. Here's the windup in the throw from Ortiz. Curveball outside for the ball. Count to 3-0. Back this 6th inning, the only one that Carlsbad hasn't scored in. 2-1-1, 2 and 3 through the 5 innings that they had production in each of those innings. Here comes a 3-0 now from Ortiz. Fastball down the pike for the strike. Hobbs with 2 walks, 1 apiece for Sullivan and Udahara. So not a lot of base runners so far at this point. The 3-1 coming, curveball. Golf swing out towards right. Is it going to stay fair or foul? It's going to wickedly roll to the right and into the sidewall. And trying to chase it down for Carlsbad was right. So Brock Wright couldn't quite get there. The wind kind of took it hard and sailed to that green fence on the right side. Full count now to John Curtis. Trying to get something in play here for the Eagles, get a base runner. Ortiz, fastball, outside for the ball. So Curtis gets a walk. 3rd one picked up by the Eagles in the game. Jason Fuentes now coming in. He's 0 for 2 with a K and a ground to 3rd. No outs for the Eagles. Quickly Curtis into his leadoff at first. Wind's picking up just a bit here at Sportsman's Park. Kind of a cloud cover here most of this game, but no chance for rain. Curveball high for ball 1. Getting the best of 3 starting on Friday and Saturday. You got the 1 game Friday, 2 games on Saturday for the playoff teams next week. Fastball comes down low and a quick throw down to first. Not quite in time. Quick chuck there from Roberson. Trying to get over to his first baseman, Easy Lopez, and nice dive back to first for Curtis. So Curtis talking to Coach Schaefer now, and got a time call. They have Coach out for Carlsbad out on the mound. Takes a second to talk to Ortiz. Definitely doesn't want to have any more base runners coming around here. Not sure quite. He looks like he's being lectured right now for something. I'm not sure what that's about, but we just had a JV ball flying here from nowhere and hit the netting right above our heads. Boy, didn't look like Coach McGay. Not a happy camper for some reason. This kid's only given up 1 hit, no runs at this point, so I'm not sure what got under his collar on that one. I'm just kind of judging by body language. That wasn't just a recommendation session there. So Fuentes back up. Trying to connect here to get the base runner to move. Curtis at first. Curveball, oh, hits him in the middle of the back. Well, you just had a coach consultation, and then you hit the opposition. And you could hear ball on bone that time, or flesh at least. They look like on the back shoulder there, left shoulder of Fuentes. Runners at first and second now. Jaden Hernandez is going to be the next step for the Eagles. Hernandez 0 for 2, flew to second, flew to left center. I'll try to get themselves back in this one, down 9-0 in the bottom of the 6th. This game going to 7 at the minimum. No outs, though, for the Eagles. Definitely take advantage of that and get some runs to come across. Keep this anywhere close to not being a 10-run rule. Fastball. Clips the outside corner. Stepping across the plate was Hernandez. Did not swing the ball or bat. Long delay now for Ortiz on the mound. He's been the starter of this one. Up through this 6th inning. Fastball, low and outside for the ball. 1-1 count to Hernandez. Senior night, of course, here again at Sportsman's Park. After the conclusion of this game, 9 seniors will be recognized here. Get a chance to talk to the fans and finishing up the regular season tonight. There comes a 1-1 from Ortiz. Waggling the bat now is Hernandez. Curving inside towards the shoelaces. Looked like he thought he might have been hit with the pitch on that one, but looked back at the umpire and was talking a few seconds there. Was Hernandez. Count 2 balls and 1 strike to Jaden Hernandez. Runners urgent, first and second base for the Eagles, trying to get their first run of the contest here in the bottom of the 6th. Ortiz looks back at second, fires a curveball. This is going out to left center. It'll keep a roll. That should be an RBI. It will be RBI single. Eagles on the board. They throw it home, though. Barely misses the tag. Wow. Didn't think there was any opportunity to score or to have anybody throw that one out, but it was almost a tag out there. RBI single for Hernandez. That will score Curtis. Eagles on the board now, 9-1 here in the bottom of the 6th. The RBI single for Hernandez. That'll be the second hit of the game for the Eagles. So runners at second and third. I'll have to double check who that courtesy runner is. 2-1 count. Actually, Kestner up now, I should say. Curveball inside and low for the ball. 1-0 count. Kestner 0 for 2. He's the DH. Struck out, ground to second. Definitely could use his power now. 9-1 score. Runners at second and third for the Eagles. Fastball gets a piece of it. It's going to go over the top of this press box out of play towards the JV. Cole Kestner playing just the O today. He does have 23 RBIs, which is best on the team, or second best on the team to Hernandez with 31. Curveball inside, clips a corner. Nope, outside barely for the ball. 2-1 count now to Kestner. No outs for the Eagles, the best part of this. Ortiz taking some time on the mound now. Turns and fires. Fastball. Inside for ball 3. Getting ahead of the count now is Cole Kestner. Eagles trying to get a comeback here in the 6th with 1 run so far. Here comes the windup and the throw. Curveball right down the middle for the strike. Down to a full count to Kestner. Definitely going to have to protect the plate on this next one. Ortiz gets a call he wants from behind the plate from Roberson. Long delay on the mound now. Turns and fires a curveball. A knuckler gets to the gap through the glove of the shortstop. It's going to roll out in the left field, so Davis couldn't get a grip on it. That'll be a single for Kestner. And the Hobbs Eagles get another run to score. That'll be Fuentes scoring. Now 9-2. Eagles put 2 across here in the bottom of the 6th to get back in this thing. Now a time call, and I don't think Coach McGay is going to waste any more time, and he's asking for the ball. And that will finish the night for Ortiz. Ortiz giving up 2 runs and 3 hits against the Eagles and walked 3 as well. So we're going to get a relief pitcher. We'll take a quick break. It is 9-2. Carlsbad leading your Hobbs Eagles here in the bottom of the 6th with no outs for Hobbs. We'll be back in 60. New pitcher on the mound for Carlsbad, Eloy Lopez. He was the player on the infield already for this Carlsbad squad. He was the second baseman. We'll double check to see who they've got out there as a sub for him. So he came in relief of Evan Ortiz, who went 5 innings in this game. Didn't get an out yet here in the 6th. Hobbs with 2 runs scored here, both in the 6th, their first scoring of the ball game, and have a total now of 3 hits. Tristan Montez now ground out to second. Also ground to second in his second at bat. 0 for 2 so far. Takes the first inside for ball 1. So Lopez on the mound for the Cavemen. Eagles with runners at first and third. Montez definitely like to get an RBI here to keep the scoring going. Curveball hit somebody. Was it him or was it the catcher in the back of the head? I guess it was. It was Montez hit by a pitch. Second time that's happened here in this inning. So runners on all 3 bases now. Things starting to unravel a little bit for Carlsbad. A 9-2 ball game here in the bottom of the 6th. No outs. Hobbs is starting to string this thing together just a bit. Jackson Souter up now, who flew to center, also struck out earlier. He's 3rd time at the plate. Lopez comes with a curveball, check swing, inside. Ball drops on the base. I'm not sure if he got contact or not, but strike called regardless. Souter 6 in the order. Parrish, Sullivan, and Udahara 7 through 9 in the order after that. No outs though for the Eagles and bases loaded. Curveball. Clips the outside corner. Little flint swing there for Souter for strike 2, 0-2 count. Souter has 7 RBIs this season. Like to make it at least 8 here or more. Here comes the 0-2 from Lopez. Fastball, barely misses outside. You can see Roberson kind of pulling his body over the left of the plate as well. The catcher definitely wants to pop up and might want to pick somebody off the bases here. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Souter. Lopez, ooh, he hit him right in the hands. Threw an inside pitch, and that will also score a run for the Eagles. 2 hit by pitch in a row. So Eagles now tacking on some runs here in the 6th, 9-3. And Carlsbad is having some major issues. That's going to score Jaden Hernandez. And bases loaded once again. Luke Parrish, the man at the plate. He's 0 for 2, flew to second and struck out. But the last 6 batters for the Eagles have been on the bases for Hobbs, including RBI single for Jaden Hernandez, but a bunch of hit by pitches, 3 of those, and RBI single for Kestner, and a walk for Curtis. Fastball low and outside for the ball. This is the 11th at bat here in the 6th inning for the Eagles. So they're keeping guys at the plate and had 3 runs to show for it. Parrish trying to get his first hit of the ball game. Lopez with a fastball, hits hard on the ground to second. That could be a double play territory. They get to second with the out, the throw to first in time. They call the double play. Now that sub for Lopez, who was out there at second, we have to get a number on that. He was the one that got the out to second, then the throw to first to E.J. Lopez. And Hobbs fans are not liking the double play call there. They thought that their man Parrish was there in time, but he's going to have to sit down with 2 outs quickly there for Carlsbad. Hit in the wrong spot, and unfortunately you pay the price. So 2 down for the Eagles. Things were going pretty well up to that point, and could have made a call that Parrish should have stayed there. Curveball inside to Sullivan. He's 8th in the order for the Eagles. 0 for 2, flew to short and walked. Bottom of the 6th inning, Hobbs has got 4 runs across. 9-4 your score. Runner at third still for Hobbs. Curveball, the thick of the bat, going to head towards left. And they called the shortstop off. The left fielder wants a piece of it instead, and he comes up with a catch, one-hander, as Carter the man with the catch for the Cavemen. But Hobbs getting all 4 runs that come across. They do get just 1 hit, though, or actually 2 hits, I should say. Bunch of hit by pitches. They leave 1 on base. Again, 4 runs come across, 9-4. Hobbs down by 5. We head to the possible final inning. Carlsbad trying to add on to their 5-run lead. The Eagles have 1 more at bat as well. Going to the wire here at Sportsman's Park, final regular season district game on HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and the Cool 95.7 Facebook page. Back to Sportsman's Park, your Hobbs Eagles trail 9-4 here in the top of the 7th. Could be the final inning of the ball game. Carlsbad at the plate trying to add on to a 5-run lead. Eloy Lopez at top of the order, his 5th time at the plate. One of the only guys that doesn't have a hit so far. He got on doing an air, flew to short, hit by a pitch. And then a sack RBI on top of that. So no hits quite yet for him. Eagles trying to make sure that doesn't happen. Eagles with their relief pitcher, Evan Sullivan, out there. Hendricks Sullivan, excuse me. Fastball outside, and a zinger looked like it hit right in the chest plate there of Hernandez, the catcher for the Eagles. 1-2 count now to Lopez. Of course, Lopez took over as the relief pitcher for Ortiz in this ball game. Lineup for Sullivan. Fastball high, outside, ball 2. Count to 2-2 now. Easy Lopez coming up next. Jaden Carter, 3rd in the slot. Curveball inside off the handle. It's going to go foul. And Coach McGay with the back pedal there in the third base coach's box. Able to barehand that one. Back pedal action for him. Still 1-2 count. Getting some contact as Lopez to stay alive. His team leading 9-4. Sullivan goes to the fastball. A little low for ball 2. Eagles with their biggest all runs coming in that 6th inning. Curveball inside. This is going high. The wind's going to be messing with this one out to left center. 3 guys running after it. The center fielder tries to come in for the Eagles. That's Curtis. Couldn't get a piece of it. The throw to second. They're going to say safe. Ends up being a double for Lopez. He put an extra base on that one. Very dangerous. The ball was kind of held up for a second. You saw Curtis coming in from center. This is kind of a halfway back in left center. Also back there was Fuentes from short. So a double recorded for Lopez. That'll bring up Easy Lopez, who has a single, RBI single to start the game with a run. Struck out, ground to second, and walked. He's been on 2 of 4 times. Curveball outside and low for ball one. Easy Lopez second in the order. Carter and Cozart 3 and 4. Hobbs will get one more at bat here in this seventh. This is the final regulation inning at least. Hobbs, of course, had an extra inning against Roswell a couple weeks back. Curveball inside off the handle. This is going out towards left. It looks like they have a quick curve on it, though, on the foul territory. Takes a bounce halfway out. Phillips is out in left field, and they made the pitching change, and he's had to be dealing with a lot of those wild, wicked curves out in those foul territory situations. Some of those might end up dropping, but right now the wind looks like it's blowing from right to left. 1 ball and 1 strike as Sullivan faces Lopez. Curveball outside, ball 2. Carlsbad the runner at second. That's the double from Eloy Lopez earlier. Final regular season district game for the Hobbs Eagles and the Cavemen. And they'll wait their fate for the weekend and see what the NMAA will pick for the 16 teams into the state playoffs. Curveball inside off the edge of the bat. Hard swing. It's going out over the Eagle dugout towards the parking lot. Five-run lead for the Cavemen. Her biggest production was in the 5th inning where they had 3 come across. Fastball, same spot again, left foul. Back to the, actually more behind us, straight. Actually, it might have hit someone that won a car out there, it looks like. Carlsbad had a string of innings where they scored runs in each up through the 5th, where the 3rd was, or 3 runs in the 5th was their biggest, but they didn't get anything in the 6th. Hobbs got all 4 of theirs then. After that, 2-2 count. Now to Lopez. Sullivan looks back at second, turns and fires it. Fastball high for ball 3. Full count now to Lopez. Jaden Carter will be up next. He's been on base all 4 times, a pair of singles and 2 walks. Eagles trying to even up their record at 13-13. 15-10 for Carlsbad. Fastball low, swing and a miss on the outside corner. That'll be strike 3. So Lopez will sit down, picking up his 2nd K of the ball game. That's the 3rd K issued by the Eagles reliever, Sullivan, and a total of 9 Ks, more than last night. They had 8 against Carlsbad in the loss on the road. So 1 out. That'll bring up 3rd in the order, Jaden Carter. 2 singles, one of those an RBI added to it. 2 walks, and he's scored 2 times. So 2 for 2 at the plate. Been on base all 4 times he's been up. Sullivan comes with a curveball. Stay a little low for ball 1. Still multiple hitters for Carlsbad. Jaden Carter with 2, Wright with 2, and Roberson with 2. Comes a 1-0 pitch. Fastball off the middle of the bat is going to sail high towards short, shifting left towards 3rd base, and making the catch is Fuentes for the out. That's out number 2 on the fly by Carter. Still got to definitely move around a little bit if you're the infield, though. So wind keeps shagging those balls more to the left of the infield. 2 down now for the Cavemen. Hobbs will get their last at bat. Would have to at least get 5 to tie it and 6 to take the win here in the 6th, or make it the 7th. Wade Cozart, the cleanup man, has a single with an RBI, walked, ground to 3rd, and struck out. So he's 1 for 3 at the plate. This will be his 5th time up. One of the lefties for the Blue. Again, both teams with 9 seniors too, so they got a lot of guys they're going to have to replace next year. Someone will come with a fastball down the middle, bottom of the strike zone for the strike. Of course, senior night too, so after the game they will be recognizing the 9 seniors here. Mentioned those guys earlier. Get you a list on that here in just a second. The 0-1 from Sullivan, curveball near the chin high there for Cozart for the ball. Alex Udahara, or Alan Udahara, Hendrix Sullivan, Jason Fuentes, Luke Parrish, Chase Brister, Jaden Hernandez, Tristan Montez, Cole Kester, and Jackson Souter, all the 9 seniors for your Eagles. 1 ball and 1 strike now to Wade Cozart. He's the one that pitched last night. Fastball low and outside for ball 2. If they kept the standings the way they are now for the seedings, it would be Carlsbad 6, the Hobbs Eagles 11. So these those 2 teams would be playing each other in the best of 3 next week. But I think there's going to be some movement, at least near the bottom of the standings. 2-1 pitch outside for ball 3. So Cozart getting ahead with the 3-1 count. Cleveland #1 in the state, of course. The Eagles knocked them off once this season. Fastball. This is head out towards right on the ground. And a backhand coming over from the right is Parrish. Gets a throw into second, but that will score a run. RBI single for Cozart. Lopez, the man to come across. And now 10-4 your score. 6-run lead for the Cavemen. 2 outs, though. Runner at first for the Blue Squad. That'll bring up Riley Hernandez, or actually Ryan Hernandez, who came in for Riley Hernandez. He's 1 for 1 with the single. First time up, got that hit. Fastball inside for ball 1. We got some good players coming up from the JV as well. Had a good season so far, so they'll have to fill some of those 9 slots. Sullivan with the fastball outside low for ball 2. Hernandez 5th in the order for the Cavemen. Brock Wright due up next. He's been on all 4 times with a pair of hits, double, single, walk, hit by a pitch, run, couple of runs for him. One of the most productive out there so far tonight. The 2-0, curveball inside. This is going to high towards center field, and 3 guys going back there for it. They better make sure they got some communication. The shortstop heads over there and picks it off away from the center fielder and the second baseman for the Eagles. That's Fuentes with the catch. So the fly out for Hernandez. And that'll be all she wrote, at least for the offensive side for Carlsbad. They do manage to get a couple of hits. And they get 1 run to come across, leave 1 on base. We head to the bottom of the 7th, the last hurrah for the Eagles. Got to get 6 to tie, 7 to win here. The final regular season district game. This could be a big one for the playoffs too, so lots of focus on this offense. We'll be back in 60 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Hobbs Eagles have inserted Jaden Taylor. He was out injured with a hand a couple seconds or minutes before that game yesterday. They had to scratch him, and he was the starter, or at least the top of the order, I should say, for the Eagles. He's back here now. And he's going to come in for the bottom of the order. I believe he's coming in for Udahara. So, yeah, he'll come in for Udahara. So we'll see what Taylor can do here. First time to bat in this ball game. Didn't get to play yesterday with the hand injury as well. Hobbs down 10-4. Bottom of the 7th. Fastball. A little low for ball 1. Taylor batting .371 this season. 26 hits, 18 RBIs, 7 doubles, 2 triples. Fastball, same spot low for ball 2. Good eye for Taylor. Got to be some base runners here in this bottom of the 7th. Got to get at least 6 runs, as we said. 2-0 count now off the reliever, Eloy Lopez. Fastball cracked out to short, keep it on the ground, and Davis bobbles it for second and throws a high one and hits right into the Carlsbad dugout. Almost takes off the head of Starla Jones, our videographer for the district. So a little bit of a bobble on that one. And then a horrible throw coming over there from short. Misfire. Pretty hard shot, though, for the Eagles, for Taylor. Looked like they're going to go ahead and give him a hit on that one. His first of the game, just first at bat as well. That brings the top of the order, John Curtis. Runner at second for the Eagles. Curtis is 1 for 2, a single, ground to second, walked, also scored a run. One of the 4 runs the Eagles got in the 6th. Lopez taking some time on his pitch. Curveball inside, swing and a miss for Curtis. Sorry about our scoreboard here. There's trouble with the inning numbers here. Curveball inside, a bouncer right to second, getting it right in the chest there and cradling it. Makes it throw to first in time. As Lopez the man to fire it to first and connects with Easy Lopez. That'll be out number 1 for the Eagles on the ground out for Curtis. Second in the order now, Jason Fuentes. Working on his first hit of the game, struck out, ground to third, and was hit by a pitch. Did get a run, though. 1 down, 10-4 score. Eagles have a runner at third. That's Taylor. Curve inside low for the ball. Fuentes second in the order for the Eagles. Jaden Hernandez third, and Cole Kestner, the cleanup man. Both Hernandez and Kestner have RBI singles in this one. The 1-0 pitch, fastball. That's getting through the gap, out to left. A diving play there for the shortstop. Couldn't bring it down, though. That was Davis. Hard shot for an RBI single there for Fuentes. That will score Taylor. Eagles get on the board. We lost the score on here, too, didn't we? Sorry about that. Should be 10-5. Completely blanked our scoreboard. The Gremlins are in the house here. 10-5 score in favor of the Cavemen. Eagles on the comeback, though, with 1 out. Runner at first after an RBI single for Fuentes. It'll be Jaden Hernandez, 1 for 3. RBI single, flew to left and flew to second. Fastball, look, I almost hit him that time as he tried to dodge out of the way there for the ball. Five runs away from tying it here in the 7th. Curveball inside. A little curve to second. The catch is made. Throw to first is going to hit the ground and roll to the Carlsbad dugout. Nice catch out there at second for the Cavemen. They couldn't get the double play. Cole Kestner with 2 outs. On the errant throw, the runner was able to get to second for the Eagles. That was Fuentes. Oh boy, this scoreboard completely blanket out again. Sorry about this. (10-5) your score still. 2 down. Curveball clips the outside corner on Kestner for strike 1. Kestner, the cleanup man, with that RBI single earlier. 1 for 3 at the plate. Trying to keep the Eagles alive here in the bottom of the 7th with 2 down. Lopez taking some time on the mound now. Turns and fires the fastball, lunging across the plate. Couldn't quite tell if the front of that bat, tip of the bat might have got a piece of it. It's going to go to the glove anyway for the strike foul, regardless. 0-2 count now for Kestner. Got to protect the plate with the 2 down. Winds picking up here at Sportsman's Park on this Wednesday night. Rescheduled game from Friday. Fastball, golf swing out to right center. Is going to have some air underneath it. The right fielder's got to chase it. One has it. Snow cone catch there on the run. So he was heading towards the first baseline. That'll be out number 3. Unfortunately, the fly out for Cole Kestner. And that'll be it for this ball game as Carlsbad wins 2 in the series, 10-5 the final over the Hobbs Eagles. So they go to 16-10 to the blue squad. The Eagles drop to 12-14, 2 under 500. But Hobbs coming back in that 6th inning, getting those 4 runs, 4-0 blank on Carlsbad in that inning. But Carlsbad holds on for the win. This game was almost going to go to the 10-inning rule earlier midway through, but Hobbs able to hold on to continue the action here at Sportsman's Park. Final again, 10-5. We will take a break and come up with the Hobbs Eagle post-game show to wrap it up here for the regular season, hopefully getting a playoff game as the NMAA will make that decision this weekend. You're listening live to Hobbs Eagle Baseball on Colt 95.7's Facebook page, HobbsAmerica.com, and YouTube. Welcome back to Sportsman's Park. It's a wrap here tonight as the Hobbs Eagles lose 10-5 to the Cavemen. 2-game series won by the Cavemen, 10-0 last night, 10-5 in this one. Let's look at the numbers in this game. First for the Cavemen, finishing up with 13 hits in the ball game. A couple of those guys with multiples, including Jaden Carter went 2 for 3. He had a pair of singles, one of those an RBI, and 2 runs scored, plus a couple of walks. So he was on base 4 out of the 5 times he got to the plate. Wade Cozart went 2 for 4. RBI singles, 2 of those, and a walk. Brock Wright was 2 for 2, a double, a single, a walk, scored 2 runs. Connor Roberson went 2 for 4 with a pair of singles. That was it for the multiple hitters. Eloy Lopez went 1 for 3 with a double and a run scored, also a sac RBI, and another run, so 2 runs total for Lopez. Easy Lopez went 1 for 4 with an RBI single, a run, and a walk. Others hitters in this one, Riley Hernandez went 1 of 2. He had Aaron Hernandez went 1 of 2. He had a single. It was Richie Hernandez 1 for 3 with a single. And finally, Mike Davis 1 for 2 with a single and RBI sacked. So again, 13 hits in the game, 5 walks for the Carlsbad Cavemen. They were struck out 9 times. That's 1 more than what they had last night. Eagles got them 8 times in that game in Carlsbad. They had 2 pitchers in the game, Evan Ortiz, the starter, and then it was Eloy Lopez late in the contest. For your Hobbs Eagles, they finish up with 5 hits. Nobody with multiples, but John Curtis had 1 for 3 hitting tonight with a single, a walk, and a run scored. Jason Fuentes went 1 for 3 with an RBI single, was also hit by a pitch and scored a run. Jaden Hernandez went 1 for 4 with an RBI single. Cole Kester 1 for 4 with an RBI single. And last but not least, it was Taylor, Jaden Taylor, coming in very late in the ball game, the 7th inning. He went 1 for 1 on an RBI, or actually a single and a run scored plus a walk. Or excuse me, no walk, but just a single and a run scored. Of course, he was injured last night, was cut off the roster about 1 minute before the game with a hand injury, but returned late in this game. Once again, 5 hits for the Eagles. They were struck out 4 times and had 3 walks. They went through a couple of pitchers, Chase Brister, the starter, and Hendrick Sullivan was the other guy on the mound to finish up for the Eagles. Hobbs a total of 5 errors in the contest. So getting the final score 10-5. Carlsbad wraps up the 2-game series 2-0, outscoring the Eagles 20-5 in those 2 games. In terms of the situation for the playoffs, we'll take a look at that really quickly. Carlsbad 16-10 on the season. Of course, they were 6-0 in district, and the Hobbs Eagles dropped to 12-14, 2 below 500 now. The question is where the Eagles will finish up, hopefully getting in the playoffs. Right now they sit at number 11. Clovis just moved up to number 12 last night. Now they're 13-12. They have Roswell today, so I'm not sure what the final of that game is, but they're already 1 game above 500. They lost tonight. That'll make them 500, which would be a better record than the Eagles. You have to look at the strength of schedule, though, too. Hobbs at 15.4, second in the 5A currently, and Clovis at 13.1. So Hobbs has a little bit of advantage on strength of schedule. They knocked off Cleveland, who was a district champ probably tonight, or this week, I should say. So that would give them a bonus point. Weren't able to get Carlsbad one, which would have been nice tonight. But that Cleveland game did definitely help them, possibility with their seeding in the tournament. So Hobbs at 11 currently, Clovis at 12. Las Cruces at number 13. They've got a 14-10 record, so a better record than anybody, 11 through 16 in the seedings or possibility of the seedings right now. But they split with Hobbs earlier. Hobbs does have a 2-run advantage as they outscored Las Cruces 15-13, although it was a split with a win-loss in those 2 teams. So Las Cruces dropped to 13. Volcano Vista is now at 14. 15 Rio Grande with a 15-8 record. Now that sounds pretty good, better than all the teams 11 through 16, but they only have a 7.6 strength of schedule, so their schedule not as tough. 16 is Cibola with 11-14. They got a game to finish up the week as well. But Cibola was a team that had the big upset against Carlsbad in the first round. Carlsbad was ranked seeded 3rd last year. Cibola at 14 and came and beat Carlsbad 2-1 in Carlsbad. So you never know who could pop it up. Sandia 17 too. They're 13-11. They've got 1 game left as well. So those are the teams that are kind of in the mix for that those last slots. I think 1 through 10 is pretty much a lock. You're going to have Cleveland up there, Rio Rancho, Piedra Vista, La Cueva, Centennial, Carlsbad, El Dorado, Mayfield, Los Lunas, and Oregon Mountain. Those teams, most of them have just single-digit losses. Carlsbad, though, is 16-10, even though they're ranked 6th. But they have a strength of schedule of 17, which is best in the state. So the teams left over, though, for the last slots will be Hobbs, Las Cruces, Volcano Vista, Clovis, Rio Grande, possibility of Cibola and Sandia. Again, the New Mexico Activities Association is going to make the decision on that this weekend. A couple of teams still have games on May 1st, too, so that'll kind of extend the time before we get those final numbers. Again, final score tonight, 10-5. Your Eagles losing to Carlsbad to finish up the season. They're doing senior night here at Sportsman's Park. 9 seniors will be departing the team with graduation. That's Alan Udahara, Hendrick Sullivan, Jason Fuentes, Luke Parrish, Chase Brister, Jaden Hernandez, Tristan Montez, and Cole Kestner. I'd like to thank you for tuning in tonight for our Hobbs-Eagle game, and we will hopefully be back with you next Friday and Saturday for hopefully a best-of-3 series against some team, more than likely on the road if the Eagles do get in, which we're hoping that does happen. We will have that coverage for you as usual. HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and the Cool 95.7 Facebook page. Thanks to Evie Stuber and Tiffany Stuber back at the station for our tech coverage tonight. And thanks to you for being a fan of the Hobbs Eagles this regular season and hopefully into the playoffs. Have a great rest of a Wednesday night out there.